I'm going to guide you through a pretty standard power vinyasa flow. It's going to move a little faster than regular vinyasas, and a lot of times these power flows are in a hot room, but you can teach it in not a hot room too. It's just a good way to kind of hit all your bases. This class is meant to be within 60 minutes. Let's see if I can hit that 60-minute mark today. But yeah, get ready to sweat a little bit. All you need is your mat and some space. We don't need any props. Unless you want a prop, you can grab a prop. All right, so we're going to begin in a child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees wide. Reach your arms out long. Bring your forehead to the mat. So we're just taking these first few moments to focus in on our breath. So check in with how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. And then really work to slow down your breathing. So deep, full inhales. Long, extended exhales. If you'd like to use Ujjayi breath, you can find that. That's victory breath. You find that by restricting the back of the throat, finding that kind of hissing sound. You're going to work to maintain this Ujjayi breath throughout the flow. Just a few more breaths here. Maybe you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for this class. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to make your way into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Take a moment here to stretch out, so pedaling out your feet, stretching the ankles and the calves, feeling that chest pull back towards the legs. Good. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, walking the feet forward to the top of the mat, finding your ragdoll. So feet are hip width distance. Bend your knees as much as you need. You can grab opposite elbows and just hang here. So shake the head out, yes and no, releasing the neck and the shoulders. If it feels good to sway a little or bounce, you can do that. Good, releasing the hands. Keep a little bend in your knees. Slowly start to roll yourself all the way up to standing, finding your Tadasana. So starting from your foundation, your feet should be hip width distance. Spread the toes wide. Feel a slight engagement of the core to protect the back. Relax the shoulders. Reach the crown of the head up. Good. Take a deep inhale. Let the arms rise up over the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Bring the hands to the shins. And then exhale, press the hands into the mat. Step back to a plank. Take a good inhale, rock forward on the toes. Exhale, hinge the elbows back, chaturanga. Inhale, pull the heart through for up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. That was a sun salutation. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands into the mat, step back, take your flow, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One more time, inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands into the mat. Step or float back. Take your flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. A few rounds of breath here. Good. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward to the top of the mat. Big toes to touch, a little space between the heels. Sit back in your chair. Inhale up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Sitting back and down. Back and down. One more inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands into the mat. Step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Good. Inhale your right leg up for three-legged dog. Keep the hips level. Flex the toes down towards the earth. Look between the hands. Take another deep inhale. And then exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel. Inhale up and around warrior two. From your foundation up, the back edge of that foot's parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right toes straight forward. Bending the knee over the toes. Leveling the hips. Active arms. Gazing over the right middle finger. Take an inhale. Exhale for extended side angle. Right elbow down. Left arm up. Use that elbow as leverage to open up that inner thigh. Spiral the chest towards the sky. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior, up and back. Legs stay solid. Lifting that right arm up and back. Breathe into those intercostal muscles between the right ribs. Good. Exhale, spin the hands to the mat. Step back. Take your flow. You're welcome to skip this flow. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg up. Three-legged dog. Keep the hip level. Flex the toes towards the earth. Exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the right heel. Inhale up and around warrior two. Again, from your foundation up. Check your feet. You feel this external rotation, so spiraling up and away. Squeeze the glutes. Active arms, gaze over the left finger. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow down, right arm up. Squeeze through your glutes, keeping that external rotation. Your obliques are holding you here, so if your elbow's on the knee, don't dump into it. Use the oblique strength. The arms might be floating. Good. Inhale. Reverse warrior, up and back. Legs stay solid. Lift that left arm, reach it up and back. One more inhale. Exhale, spin the hands to the mat, step back. Flow, or down dog if you want to skip the chaturanga. Good, taking a few rounds of breath here. If you need to supplement exhaling out your mouth, you can. We just did that flow, that sun B, about 3 to 5 breaths per pose. We're going to move a little faster. We're going to do that same exact flow 2 more times through. This time it's going to be 1 breath per pose. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward. Big toes to touch, sit back in your chair. Inhale up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, press the hands into the mat, step or float back, take your flow, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Pivot the back heel, inhale up and around, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, right elbow down, left arm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, up and back with the right. Exhale, spin the hands down, step back, flow. You can skip it and go straight to down dog. Pace yourself. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Pivot the back heel, inhale up and around, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, left elbow down, right arm up. Inhale, reverse, up and back. Exhale, spin the hands to the mat. Step back, your choice, flow or skip it. Meeting in downward facing dog. One more time through the whole thing. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward. Big toes to touch, sit back in your chair. Inhale up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands into the mat. Step or float back, take your flow. Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Pivot the back heel. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, spin the hands down. Maybe you want an extra challenge here. Lift your right leg, float it during that chaturanga. Place it back down for the up dog. Exhale, down dog. One more side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Pivot the back heel. Inhale up and around. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, spin the hands down, step back, float the left leg for an extra challenge, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good. Dropping the knees. Sit back for a child's pose. Taking a moment here to connect to your breath. So remind yourself of that intention you set. Remind yourself of that Ujjayi breathing. Good. You're going to inhale. Come back onto your heels and then knock the feet out from underneath you, taking the legs out long. Coming down onto your back, we're going to do a core strengthening series. So starting in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees wide. We're going to do 25 Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. So interlacing the hands behind the head. You want to keep your elbows really wide, and you're not crunching in, you're just thinking about lifting the shoulders up off the mat. And the breath is going to be a little different. So we're going to take this SH exhale, so it'll sound like shh, shh, shh. And every time you do that, you feel your stomach go shh, contract. You don't really have to think about the inhales. They're going to come in naturally. So just focus on that short, abrupt shh, shh, shh breathing. So we're going to do 25 of these. Start off with a deep inhale through the nose and begin lift. Shh, 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 shh. 10, 9, keep breathing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring the knees together. Take a moment, hands to your belly. Good. Now we are going to do some abdominal twist crunches. So again, you're going to interlace the hands behind the head. You're going to extend the left leg, pull the right knee in. So float that left leg because we're going to be switching back and forth. So starting off, the left elbow comes to the right knee, and then the right elbow comes to the left knee. So we're going to do 25 of those on each side. So it's going to feel like 50, but 25 for each side. So starting off, that SH, shh, 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 shh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. So just give yourself a moment to really breathe and let those muscles release. We're going to do one more core strengthening boat pose. So bringing your hands behind the knees, start to rock and roll up the length of the spine, landing on those sits bones, finding a balance point. So you might keep your toes kind of tucked down. Let yourself drop back into this. So let the head drop back. We're going to take it one step at a time. So maybe you lift the shins. Maybe you release the hands. Maybe you straighten the legs. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Crossing the ankles. Finding a seat for a moment. Just find your breath. Good. You're going to knock the feet out from underneath you and press yourself back into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. Inhale up, crescent lunge. Keep that back heel lifted, bending that right knee on top of the ankle. You want to squeeze your thighs together. Feel yourself slightly lift through that upper pelvis area. Maybe tuck the tailbone slightly. Good. One more inhale here. And then exhale, crescent twist. Take the left elbow to the right knee. Make sure that that right hip isn't shifting way up, so pull that down. Pull the left hip up. Good. Taking one more inhale. Maybe you open up the arms. And then exhale, release the hands to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe that right foot out and up for runner's lunge. So you can stay up on the back leg like this if you want to work on that quad strength. If you want to focus a little more on stretching, you can drop the back knee. And maybe you come down to the elbows here, trying to keep that right knee squeezed in, pulling the chest through the arms, finding your breath. Good. Coming back up onto your hands. Untuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Step back to a plank. Take the left hand in towards the midline. Rock open for a side plank. You're welcome to drop the bottom knee here if you're still working on that strength. Maybe you stack the right foot on top of the left. Maybe you lift the right leg, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the right hand. You can take a flow here, or you can go straight to down dog. Finding a breath. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Inhaling up, high lunge, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. So bending that left knee, stacking it on top of the ankle. That back heel should be in between the big toe and the pinky toe. You squeeze the thighs together. Make sure you're feeling a little tuck and lift to open through the hip flexors here, reaching the arms up. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Another good inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crescent twist. Right elbow to the left knee. Make sure you're not dropping the right hip down. So lift it up and pull it back. Keep twisting through your torso. Maybe you open up the arms for one more inhale. And then exhale, release the hands to the inside of the left foot. Drop the back knee and tuck the toes. Runner's lunge. If you want to work on that strength, keep the back leg lifted. Maybe you come down to the elbows. Good. Coming back up onto the hands if you've dropped down. Untuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back to plank. Take your right hand in towards the midline, rock, open side plank. You're welcome to drop the bottom knee. Maybe you stack the left foot on top of the right. Maybe you lift the left leg, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the left hand. You can take a flow or go straight to down dog. Find your breath. Good. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or float forward. Big toes to touch. Sit back in your chair. Inhale up, Utkatasana. Good. Palms together at the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist. Left elbow to the right knee. Crescent twist or chair twist. So you want the pelvis to be level. A lot of times that left knee wants to poke out. So pull the left knee back in line. Squeeze the thighs together. Breathing here. One more inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Good. Take your feet hip width distance. We're coming into Padahastasana. Pada means foot, hasta means hand. Foot to hand pose. Taking the hands and stepping on them. So fingers, palms all the way up to the wrist. Bringing the weight forward into the toes to get that compression through the wrist. Make sure you're not crunching into the neck and shoulders. Just breathe here. Good. Releasing the hands one at a time. Shake it out. Feel that blood flow moving back down into the hands. Heel toe those feet back together. Sit back in your chair. Inhale up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Bring the palms together at the heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist right elbow to the left knee. Make sure that right knee's not poking forward. Pull it back. Level the pelvis. Twist from the torso. Good, and then exhale, fold forward. Take the feet hip width distance, shake it out a little bit. Good, we're gonna come into crow pose or Bakasana pose. So squatting down, taking the hands in front of you, shoulder width distance, spread the fingers nice and wide. Rock the shoulders over the wrist, and then tuck the knees up either to the triceps or the outsides of the triceps. And you're gonna find like a cat back here, so you're really rounding and tucking. And then from here you look forward, hinge the elbows just like chaturanga, and then maybe you play around with lifting one toe, maybe you lift the other toe, eventually maybe you lift both toes. Give it a try. So stacking the shoulders over the wrist, tucking the knees up towards the armpits, hinging the elbows, trying one foot and the other, maybe both. You got to look forward, see where you're going. Good, so play around with that for a few more breaths. Don't be afraid to have a sense of humor about these balancing poses. They are hard to find, and it's kind of fun to play around with. So just play around, be lighthearted, see what you can do today. Good. And then when you feel like you've had enough, go ahead and find a forward fold at the top of the mat. Good. Sit back in your chair. Inhale up, Utkatasana. Good. Take the left elbow underneath the right, wrap at the wrist. If you can't get that wrist wrap, give yourself a big bear hug. Rooting down into your right foot, take your left foot up and over for eagle. So maybe you get a kickstand with the toes. Maybe you point the toes back. Maybe you get that double wrap. Wherever you're at, you're rooting into the right foot, sinking back and down in your chair, trying to level the shoulders and the hips. Keep sinking deeper and deeper. Finding your edge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, sit back in your chair. Opposite side, right elbow underneath the left, wrap at the wrist. Rooting down into the left foot, take your right foot up and over. Maybe kickstand. Maybe you point the toes back. Maybe you get the double wrap. Wherever you're at, you're sinking back and down, back and down, back and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, inhale. And exhale, shake it off. Good. All right, so we're gonna do 2 more balancing poses. We're gonna start off with dancer's pose. So finding Tadasana, you're gonna extend the left arm up towards the sky. So you want to be active all the way through to the fingers. So some teachers will tell you to take your palm forward. Some will tell you to take it in. You just wanna make sure that that shoulder joint is getting this external rotation. So taking that palm in can help you to feel that external rotation. Just be active through the fingers. So again, some teachers will say squeeze the fingers together. Some will say apart. Just make sure you're active. And then bringing that right elbow to the right hip crease. So reaching back as if you're gonna give someone a handshake, reach for the inside edge of the foot. So oftentimes I see people turn that thumb down to get the grip. Keep the thumb and the palm open and up, and then see if you can get the inside of the foot. So this keeps this right shoulder opening. Good, so from here, you might be working here on your balance. If you're ready for more, take an inhale. Exhale, kick into that back hand. So shin back, knee up, reach forward with the left. Try to keep the hips level, squeeze the standing leg. Finding your drishti, so something to stare at that's not moving, to focus on, to help you concentrate. Keep re-squeezing the standing leg. Kicking, reaching, and pulling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, as much control as you can. Releasing down to Tadasana. Take a moment. I'm going to flip this way so you can see the opposite side. That right arm up, remember active through the fingers, turning the palm in is going to help get that external rotation from the shoulder joint. Left elbow to the left hip crease, reaching back as if you're going to shake someone's hand. Take the inside of the foot, squeeze the thighs together. You might be working on balance here. If you're ready for more, take a deep inhale. Exhale, kicking into that backhand. Kicking, lifting, and reaching with the right. Try to keep the hips level and squeeze the glutes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, release, shake it out. Good. We're going to do one more balancing pose, tree pose. So from here, bring the palms together at the heart, finding Tadasana. Rooting down into your left foot, come up onto your right toes. You feel this external rotation from the hip joint. So opening the knee. Bringing the foot either to that ankle, like a little kickstand. Maybe you bring it up to the calf, or maybe you bring it up to the thigh. Just make sure it's above or below the knee joint. You don't want to be pressing the knee the way it's not supposed to go. So squeezing your glutes, pressing the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. You can take your arms out to a T, maybe rise up, growing the branches tall. Keep squeezing and holding yourself here. Find that drishti. Good. And then slowly bring the palms back to the heart, turning the knee in, releasing the foot. Shake it out. Good, we're gonna do the opposite side. So reset, palms together at the heart, rooting into the right foot, come up onto the left toes. External rotation of the hips, so the knees rolling open. Foot is either here at the ankle with a kickstand, maybe it's coming up to the calf, or maybe you're bringing it all the way up to the thigh. Just remember above or below the knee joint. Pressing the leg into the foot into the leg. Good, from here you can grow your branches out and up. If you'd like to find a reverse namaste, you can bring the hands behind you. Maybe you just grab opposite elbow or wrist or forearms, or maybe you can get the palms to touch behind the back. Wherever you're at, keep squeezing. Good. And then releasing. Good. Whoop. So taking a moment here to just Recollect yourself. Bring your palms together. Close your eyes. Come back into that Ujjayi breath. Come back to that intention. Good. So coming to the top of the mat, if you're not already there, inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press the hands into the mat. Step or float back. Take your flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel down and walk that left foot a little bit further towards the outside edge of the mat. Inhaling up, warrior one. So your hips are working on shifting forward. This left hip might be back slightly, that's all right. Just feel yourself pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Arms up, take an inhale, and then exhale, transition into warrior two. You might have to adjust that stance. So front heel is in line with the back arch. Start to straighten through the right leg, take an inhale. Exhale for triangle. So reach forward as far as you can reach, and then drop the right hand down, left arm up. Triangle pose. So little to no weight in that right hand. Try to use your oblique strength to hold yourself here. Making sure that this right rib is squeezing towards the top of that left pelvis. So you're not rounding, you're squeezing using these obliques. Good. Slowly rising up. Pivot the left toes in, or the right toes into straddle. Inhale the arms out to a T. Turn the palms up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale. Folding over. Straddle forward fold. Making sure that your hips are in line with your ankles. If you need to bend the knees a little here, you can. Good. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, rising up halfway. Hands to the hip crease, rise all the way up. Pivot the right toes forward, sinking into the knee. Warrior two, inhale. Exhale, spin the hands to the mat, step back. You can take a flow or go straight to down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot through. Pivot the back heel, walk the foot a little bit further to the outside edge of the mat. Inhaling up, warrior one. So this time, this right hip is working on shifting forward. Left hip is working on pulling back. So you're evening out the hips as best you can. Reach the arms up, warrior one. Take an inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior two. So adjust the stance. If you could draw a line from the front heel to the back arch, that's warrior two. Straighten through the left leg. Exhale, triangle. Reach forward. See the shift of my hips. Left hand down, right arm up. Little to no weight in that left hand. It's your oblique strength. Remember this right oblique. Avoid the urge to round it. So feel that bottom rib squeeze towards the top right hip. Good. And then slowly rise up, pivot the left toes into straddle. This time interlace the hands behind the back. Reach the knuckles down, roll the shoulders open, inhale. Exhale, hinging and folding over, taking the knuckles up and over the head. A couple of good breaths into the shoulders. And then releasing the hands to the earth, shake the shoulders out. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders, rise up halfway. Hands to the hip crease, rise all the way up. Pivot the left toes forward, sinking into warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, spin the hands to the mat. Step back. Your choice. You can take a flow or go straight to down dog. You don't have to do every single flow I suggest. Make sure that your wrists feel okay. Make sure your low back feels okay. If you feel fatigued at your joints, that's your body's way of telling you to take a break. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale for pigeon. Take your right knee up towards the right wrist. Extend that left leg back. Good. If you feel any pulling or pressure in that right knee, you can roll over to your back and turn this into reclined pigeon. So whether you're in pigeon here or reclined pigeon, let's give ourselves a few rounds of breath, opening up the hip. This is a pose that I think everyone should do very frequently. In a power flow class, we wouldn't hold this very long. So, suggest that this is a pose you should do more often. Three more rounds of breath. Good, using your arm strength, walk your hands up, pressing and lifting the hips. Maybe stop through tabletop for a moment to extend the leg back. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg up. Exhale for pigeon on the opposite side. Again, if there's any pulling or pressure in the knee joint here, you can roll over on your back and find that reclined pigeon. If you feel good here, we're going to fold over and take some time to breathe. Three more rounds of breath here. Good, inhale. Pressing up, use your arm strength to slide that leg back. Finding downward facing dog when you feel ready. Inhale, rocking forward to a plank. Slowly lowering to your belly through chaturanga for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down on your belly. Coming into cobra pose, so the tops of the feet are to the mat, a little bit wider than hip width distance. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Squeeze the elbows back and up. On an inhale, lifting the chest. Trying to keep the tops of the feet pressing down. Relaxing the glutes, lifting the chest, and pulling it through the arms. Little to no weight in the hands. Every inhale, you lift a little higher. Every exhale, you hold. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, hold. One more inhale, lift a little higher. And then exhale, release. Take your left ear to the mat and rest. Arms by your side, feet flop open. Good, chin to the mat, coming into floor bow. So if this hurts your back at all, do another cobra. If you feel ready for this, start to bend the knees, reach back for the inside edges of the feet, outside edges of the feet rather. Squeezing the thighs together, roll the shoulders back, take an inhale. Lifting the chest, kicking the legs up. So taking the thighs off the mat, try to find that soft part on your belly. Every inhale, you lift a little higher. Every exhale, you hold. Inhale a little higher, exhaling, hold. One more inhale, a little higher, and then exhale, release. This time taking the right ear to the mat, arms by your side, feet flop open. Good, chin to the mat, take your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing yourself up, standing on your knees. So we're gonna do a camel pose. So your hips are stacked over the knees. Take your hands to your low back. So palms to your low back to support the low back. So be mindful not to put too much pressure on that low back. Let this be initiated from the chest. So your hands are on your back to help push the hips forward, tucking the tailbone slightly. Squeeze the elbows back. And then imagine that there's a string on your sternum, lifting the chest up towards the sky, and then following the gaze up. You might want to breathe in and out the mouth here. Maybe you're able to drop the head back. If this hurts the neck, don't drop the head back. Keep it lifted. Maybe you can bring the hands to the heels. Good. To get out of this, bring the hands back to the hips, following the gaze up and down. Bring the hips back to the heels, hands palm down onto your thighs. Take a moment here. Find your breath. If you feel a little dizzy, it's all right. It's a very normal sensation when you're opening and expanding through that solar plexus. If that pinch of the neck made you feel a little spotty in the vision, that's your body's way of telling you that that was too much. So don't drop the head back like that. Good. So from here, you're going to knock the feet out from underneath you. Come to the center of the mat. Come down onto your elbows, down onto your back. Take the soles of the feet together, knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the hands to the belly. If you feel like this inner thigh stretch here is really a lot, start to scooch the feet a little further down towards the bottom edge of the mat. That will help. Your hands are on your belly here to make sure you're breathing using your diaphragm. So as you inhale, you feel the belly rise up. As you exhale, you feel the belly lower back down. Diaphragm breathing. So keep breathing here, just like this. Good. Using your hands to pull the knees together. Extending the legs long. Taking the arms up over the head. We're going to do that SH breath out the mouth as we rise up and fold into a forward fold. So from here, take a deep inhale and then rise up. Folding over the legs, hinging from the hips, using your arms to pull and round through the upper back a little bit, breathing into that space. Good. Slowly rising up. We're going to make our way back down onto the back, pulling the knees in, coming into happy baby pose. So the knees go wide, reaching for the outside edges of the feet. Maybe you need to take the backs of the thighs or the calves. Just make sure that that low back stays rooted into the earth. You can rock a little side to side if that feels good. Maybe you want to straighten one leg and the other, if that feels good. This is called happy baby, so it should feel very playful, very good. Good. And slowly start to bring the knees back together. Just take a little rock side to side. Extend the left leg, just pull that right knee in. Take an inhale. And then exhale for supine twist. Take it over to the left. Finding a nice twist, take your right arm out to a T. Good. Inhale, pull both the knees back into the chest, finding a little rock side to side on that low back. Then extend the right leg long, pull the left knee in, inhale. And then exhale, supine twist the opposite way. Good. Inhale, pull the legs back in. Just take another little rock side to side. Giving yourself one more final squeeze. And then exhale, releasing everything long to the mat. Finding your final Shavasana. Arms down by your side, palms up. Allowing your body to rest and relax in this final surrender Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here a little longer if you'd like. But when you feel ready, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Deepen your breath. And slowly start to make your way over to a fetal position, curled up, cozy on your side for a moment. And slowly start to drag yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bringing the palms together at your heart. Remind yourself of that intention you set. The teacher and the light in me honors, respects, and sees the teacher and the light in you. Namaste.